only just burned my passport and set all my postage stamps aflame when this mad woman appears in my bed. She moves like a language, foreign, accents rolling off her sinuous curves onto my grateful skin, replacing my vocabulary. But I am too much of a fool to be anything but speechless. The next morning, I wake in a new country, and now nobody understands the words that leave my lips. Anyway, yeah, that was the first one. Two years of this, and I'm still like really nervous every time. This one's called Premise. Premise is when I was sitting around and trying to write. I try to write a lot for my sanity and stuff, and I couldn't think of anything. I wanted to write a short story, and yeah, I kept brainstorming first lines, because I figured that's how I should start, and none of the first lines went anywhere. And then I forgot who came up the idea of just mixing all the first lines together, so that's why this is called Premise. And it does mean something. My father made elevators for a living. My father made shoelaces for a living. My father made crash test dummies for a living. My father restored archive footage for a living. My father was kidnapped by aliens. He never came back. My father looked at the sun and went blind. He lived by the sea and never married. My father always told me how glad he was the abortion clinic was closed that day. My father was a gondolier. Yes, he was a gondolier. In fact, he could dance in 4-inch heels. My father escaped from chains underwater and reappeared on the other side of the room. My father broke himself. I couldn't see it, but Mama said, trust me, it's there. He disappeared forever, presumably for repair. Thank you. The reason why I asked if anybody's seen us before is that this one is new, and I was rushing earlier to see something musical in it before tonight, and we decided to just wing it instead. And it's about my grandmother, true story. My grandmother's, thank you. My grandmother, her husband, my grandfather passed away a few years ago, and to make things worse, she forgot about it. She developed some sort of, I suppose it's Alzheimer's or something. She just couldn't remember where he was, so every day she'd keep looking for him, and she'd ask, like, my mom why she was so old, and where's your husband, and who are these people, things like that. So after about a few years of living with that every day, I wrote this for her. Things my grandmother doesn't understand. She cannot pull history out of graveyards and squeeze them into this century's tiny house, this gray city she doesn't recognize. She could never count the days, so they run circles around her. The years tease her like a washing machine, tearing her old clothes to shreds. All she can do is call out for her past, but the tombstones never tumble, never shake an inch. We pass her to arrive, and she doesn't understand how we cycle through clothes so fast, cycle through years even. Can't fathom them how she drifted so far from home in minutes. How her husband was aging with her over breakfast and is dead by lunch, again and again. The way my mother took hours to produce 2 daughters over the age of 18, who break into the house at dawn instead of getting married. When she asks where her husband is, she doesn't meet my eyes. Her hands quiver as she floats through the rooms of her mind and switches the lights on and off again. She doesn't understand this dance or who I am. I try to tell her every day, but her decades also pass right through me, refusing to be caught. And together, it is as if we understand nothing. Thank you. That's it, I guess. That's all we have, actually, for today. Thank you so much for inviting me. Whoever did not understand things my grandmother doesn't understand may have this, because I don't know where my notebook went.